Oh, hello. So this one's going to be quick because I'm late. You know, I I'm going to say stupidly. That's why I call this stupid self-righteousness. I stupidly got myself involved in a conversation about being happily married. And I was like, "Oh, what a fucking mess." Anyway, and it's like, the person was like, "Oh, I'm so happily married, and I'm so happy that I'm happily married, and being happily married is the happiest, happy place I could ever be." And people who, which is fine. I think that's great. I think that's so awesome that somebody feels that way about where they're at and who they are and what the choices are that they've made. But then it went over into, oh, the people who aren't married are so lonely and it's so sad. And I was like, I'm not sad, and I don't base my happiness or my sadness on being married or single, or I base my happiness on being myself. And I think that to be clear and to be observant about where the conversation went, again, if I believe that human beings have instinctual needs, right, for security and for certain other emotional needs, and that security is financial as well as emotional, and a need to belong and be part of something like a community or a family, and also instinctive desires for sex. And marriage is so different nowadays, especially if you don't end up getting married. If I don't end up, anyway, this is what I believe. I want to really stay away from you in this conversation because that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that the things that I can learn about being married, yes, are beneficial and yes, healthy. And I could also get a lot of my instinctual needs met by doing other things outside of marriage, like, for example, or even parenting. Like, I nurture and mentor a lot of young women. That fulfills a certain, what I would call a feminine or maternal instinct in me, where I get the opportunity to mother as a woman with no children, because I'm more mentoring, but the role is mentoring. And so the point is that what I'm trying to say is that when you find a way of life that you find that is satisfactory, speak to it. Speak volumes to how wonderful you think it is. Like, I don't often talk about this, but I quit drinking alcohol and I have found a wonderful life without it. And I'll talk to anybody that wants to know about that. But I don't go out like preaching about what that life looks like, whether it's being married, being free of whatever, coffee or sugar or booze or whatever. I just try to live my life, and that's attractive to people or it's not. And I also understand that the way I live my life is not attractive to a decent amount of people. And I'm okay with that, because the answers I'm looking for are not your answers, they're my answers. They're like, I'm looking for contentment that is what Nicole defines as contentment. And I feel really passionately about this because there are so many just social mores around marriage, and that the idea is long-term and commitment and marriage is the goal. And that has not been the goal for me. And I don't think it's ever been the goal for me. The goal has been to be happy in a relationship, to find a nurturing relationship, to find a compatible partner. And sometimes, in my case, that compatible partner has been around for a while, and in other cases, they haven't. And it doesn't mean I'm not still seeking the same things that someone who's happily married for a long time is also seeking. Yes, they're in a different place because they've remained committed to a person, and I don't have that experience, but it doesn't make me different in a less than kind of way. Like, I'm not missing out on anything, because I feel like a lot of the benefits that, for example, this other person was talking about having from long-term commitment and devotion and marriage and partnership, I have been able to acquire in other ways. And besides all that, I'm super happy with my life. Like, I'm so happy with who I am. I could cry. I'm so happy with the decisions that I've made, even the bad ones that have brought me to this point, that have created who I am, that have made me into somebody that's somebody to me. And here and there, I'm a somebody to somebody else. There's some wisdom for you. Time to go. Thanks for the time.